This rule provides, Mr. Speaker, and I'll read it. The member in charge of a bill may make a motion without notice for its withdrawal, either before the commencement of public business or when any stage of the bill is reached in the order of business. It's 59. Mr. Speaker, I call on the Prime Minister to withdraw this bill, which is within his remit as carrier of the bill. I do so, Mr. Speaker, because I believe sincerely that this piece of legislation, and indeed, Mr. Speaker, the amendment to the procedures, to the criminal procedure bill which we dealt with the last time we were here, both infringe on rights, infringes our freedoms, and threatens our democracy. And therefore I call on the Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, to withdraw this bill.
Thank you. That's it? You're still standing? That's it?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I'm still standing.
Yeah, well, can you take your seat, please? Kindly take your seat, because you have made a request. I expect that it's going to be a response to it, and I can have two people standing on the floor at the same time. Honourable Member, could you please take your seat? Having made your request, I believe you expect a response. Could you kindly take your seat?
Mr. Speaker, I wish the Prime Minister to indicate whether he will withdraw this bill.
Honourable Member. Honourable Member. I am requesting of you, as Speaker of this Honourable House, that you take your seat while the Prime Minister responds to this matter. As you are aware, we cannot have two persons speaking on the floor at the same time. So I am asking you to take your seat if this matter has to be addressed. And if you do not take your seat to have this matter addressed, then of course I will just note the point of order and ask the Prime Minister to proceed with we'll just proceed with the motion as was moved on the bill. And failing to obey the authority of the Speaker, having asked you to sit down, if you do not, I would ask you to leave the chamber, the House of Assembly, immediately. I have pleaded with you, I have begged you, I am asking you to do so of your own will and volition, and if you do not do so, then I may ask a member to move a motion on that behalf, so that you may leave the House of Assembly. But again, I give you an opportunity to sit and let us proceed with the business. Okay? Honourable members, I bring to your attention that the authority of the Speaker has been disregarded by the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, and therefore I am going to name him. I'm going to ask Mr. Arnhim Eustace to leave the Parliament at this moment. Mr. Arnhim Eustace, you're asked to leave the Parliament at the moment.
Mr. Speaker, may I draw a matter to your attention? The Honorable
Prime Minister,
Mr. Speaker,
understand what you're doing.
It's a disciplinary matter I'm raising.
Okay.
I'm not interfering with your ruling, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the
Honourable Member, please.
she has taken a picture of the leader of the opposition. And Mr. Speaker, and she has taken mine as well, as she has said. And that, Mr. Speaker, this she is not.
Just a minute, please. Just a minute, Prime Minister. Those who are taking photographs here are given permission by the Speaker to so do. Nobody comes in here and takes a picture without my authority. There's no way about this, Honourable Member.
Sir, don't give it.
There's no way authority. And listen to me. Please, I would not accept any form of rudeness from any member within this House.
Really?
Please.
All on that side could be.
Honourable Member, will you please discontinue arguing with me?
I have no argument with you.
Mr. Speaker, I suggest that the order should be that she deletes the photograph and so inform this Honourable House. She may well put it on the Facebook if she doesn't delete it.
It's gone already.
Honourable Member, just a minute. Honourable Member, if you persist in that kind of attitude, I'll have to ask you also to leave the House. Right. Honourable Prime Minister, you're making a matter on this.
Mr. Speaker, that is the issue which I was raising. I was not interfering at all with you. Mr. Speaker, I also want to ask, as leader of the House, since the opposition has come here this morning to create confusion, I would wish to ask, Mr. Speaker, that the police guard the mace, because they intend, and since the Senator Leacock has gone to that seat, has confirmed in my mind. Mr. Speaker, the seating arrangements have been laid out.
Mr. Speaker,
I'm on my feet.
yes, sir, but why are you sitting there, Senator Leacock?
Mr. Speaker, could I raise my point of order, Mr. Speaker?
Why you sit? Mr. Speaker, all I was asking.
May I, Mr. Speaker, raise my point of order?
Mr. Speaker, all I was asking is
Mr. Speaker,
for the security, for the police to go close to the
Thank
mace.
you very much. Raise your point of order.
I have absolutely no intention to interfere with the mace.
Thank you, sir.
And the insinuation by the Prime Minister, who continues to address me wrongly, is out of order. And I take exception to his insinuation that I am here for this order and to remove the mace. This is not a part of my intention.
Okay.
I do not so function. I will ask him to withdraw his statement.
Honourable Prime Minister, if he is in
Mr. Speaker, I'm gratified to hear that is not
okay.
to take place. But when I've seen the conduct of the Honourable Leader of the Opposition and the Honourable Senator Frederick, it leads me as a reasonable man to assume that we will have other instances of disorder.
But you have just been unreasonable, so you have not apologized to me. I'll ask that you withdraw.
He has. I thought
He did not, Mr. Speaker. He has not withdrawn, Mr. Speaker.
I said I'm gratified. I'm gratified. I'm grateful.
Justification is not a withdrawal, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, if it would make the Honourable Representative for Central Kingston
I love that.
feel better,
Yes.
if it would help him with whatever load is on his shoulder,
No. Just a minute.
I withdraw the suggestion.
Unqualified. Okay. I needed an unqualified. Yes, he has done that. In the fight. Listen, you.
Mr. Speaker,
I have been asked repeatedly in this House on a point of order, Mr. Speaker, to withdraw a statement. And when I qualified it, Mr. Speaker, you ordered me out of the House. I am stating that the Honorable Prime Minister has not unconditionally withdrawn the statement made to my colleague, the representative for Central Kingston. And I ask you, in your powers, to request of the Prime Minister that you withdraw the statement unconditionally. Unconditionally.
Honorable Prime Minister, it will appear that your unqualified
is not sufficiently unqualified. Mr. Speaker, I make an unqualified withdrawal in relation to the suggestion that the Honorable Member for Central Kingston was perhaps going to take up the mace in view of the fact that I have seen prior instances of disorder and disrespect to the chair. So, Mr. Speaker, I unqualified and I stated the manner in which I have issued that unqualified withdrawal.
Honourable members, you see all this discussion is going on.
And we don't need that, Mr. Speaker.
All this, just a minute. Before we proceed with any further discussion, any further matter, let me deal with this matter in relation to the leader of the opposition. And he's not moving, and I'm therefore going to ask a member to move a motion that the Honourable Leader of the Opposition withdraws from the chamber.
Mr. Speaker, at your request and to maintain order in this House, and for the proceedings of the people to go on, I move.
At the time when the Honourable Prime Minister is himself a cause for disorder, how are you going to move a motion for order? He needs to take the motor out of his eye before he proceeds to...
Honourable Senator, I'm sorry, I don't want to be direct. I'm calling on a member.
Mr. Speaker,
thank you very much.
Honourable member, Mr. Speaker.
Listen.
Not Senator, Mr. Speaker. I'm assisting you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member
for Central
Kingston.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Right.
I
have asked a member and the honourable member, Honourable Prime Minister, member for North Central Windward, is a member of this House.
Of course, Mr.
And I didn't qualify what member should move the motion. I said a member. Anyone who is a member should move the motion. If you want, you can move it too. So I am asking for a member to move the motion. And let us stop. I'm not entertaining any further discussion on this matter. Let me deal with this issue right now.
Mr. Speaker,
kindly take your seat, sir.
Mr. Speaker, honourable members.
Mr. Speaker, kindly take your seat, Central Liquor.
You're not addressing the
honourable member of Central. I am saying I have asked a member and a member has moved, and I don't need any further discussion on this.
But I'm raising the point of order that I address Mr. Speaker for the disrespect to me, Mr. Speaker. And all I'm asking is to dispense with that. That's not an unreasonable request.
What are the
that he imputed improper motive to me as an honourable member to disrespect this House, and I think that is a strong disrespect. And he should withdraw it. That he never so intended to disrespect me.
What is that?
He said that I came here for the purpose of removing the mace, which is the symbol of authority of the House. But I thought he did not, Mr. Speaker. He played around with words. And all I'm asking, Mr. Speaker, is that you withdraw that aspersion on me as an honourable member. Nothing more, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member.
Nothing more, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable member for West Kingston, I think I understand the entire motion. And I'm saying I am also naming you as referring to me as being biased.
I am saying, Mr. Speaker, the Honourable Prime Minister remains standing while the representative... Mr. Speaker, may I make my point?
Yeah, but the leader...
While the Honourable member
of the opposition is also standing.
I agree, and I would want to make my point. Yeah. While the Honourable member for Central Kingston has the floor, the Honourable Prime Minister remains standing.
I am asking
Mr. Speaker, please allow me to finish my point.
No, I am not going to allow you. I'm asking
you. And you have asked the Honourable Prime Minister to sit while you are requesting that the leader of the opposition sit down. But Mr. Because the Honourable Prime Minister is standing, and I say, Mr. Speaker, that it must apply on both sides of the House.
Well, I am on my...
Well, good.
I am on my Honourable Leader of the opposition. If you're not sitting, kindly leave the chamber. And I am asking a member to move the motion. Your Prime Minister is moving the motion on the for the member to move to leave
I was standing at your request, Mr. Speaker.
Exactly.
Mr. Speaker, I really want to be within the house.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to
There is
move.
a policeman standing guarding me. Why is he put there to guard me, Mr. Speaker? That's what the Prime Minister asked, and he has since then taken this position in front of me in this honorable house. And I'm offended, Mr. Speaker. And he should be removed. But the policeman should be removed.
I am going to ask
from
I'm going to ask the policeman to come on this side.
But that's fine, but don't stand in front of
On this side.
Why the policeman get placed in front of me?
Right. Stand on that side.
Mr. Speaker, at your request.
And I would not a member of the chamber make the allegation that he's
No, we're going to do that. He was placed there because it was suggested that he thank you. Stand against me.
dealing with the issue on the Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, as requested, in light of the failure of the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, Member for East Kingston, to obey the rule, your order to sit, and that you have requested a motion upon which you would act as regards his removal from this House. I beg to move that the Honourable Leader of the Opposition, for the misconduct of not obeying the order of the Speaker to sit, and at your request that he removes himself voluntarily, that he has failed to do, I move the motion for the Honourable Speaker to take whatever appropriate action the Honourable Speaker feels ought to occur in the circumstances.
Honourable members, the motion having been moved and seconded, there is no debate on this motion. I am therefore asking, the motion has been moved, the Honourable Leader withdraws himself or moves be withdrawn from this chamber, and therefore I am moving that he be suspended from this House for the next 2 sittings of this House. And that's my order, and I'm asking the Sergeant at Arms to so escort the Honourable
Mr. Speaker. I understand you to say that the Honourable Member for East Kingston is suspended for the next 2 sittings. The rules of the House, I think, refer to a suspension for the existing sitting.
The rest of the sitting.
The rest of the sitting. So I am inviting your attention to go to the rules of the House, Mr. Speaker. I'm inviting you, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah, you're quite correct in that one. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
I'm very sorry. For the rest of the sitting and any further disruption, you would be.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. You're quite correct. And therefore, Sergeant Lambs asks you to kindly escort the Honourable Leader of the Opposition out of the House, or failing to do so, you can request any officer in the House to move, assistance to move him out of the House.
Mr. Speaker, do I ask whether the presence of the Black Squad in the Special Services Unit today expressly for those purposes, or this is the regular meeting of the House? You're the Speaker?
Yes.
Honourable.
You could tell the Speaker what to say.
You're the Speaker. I'm addressing the Speaker.
He's your puppet.
Because I feel uncomfortable with this heavy presence of the police in the court, in the Parliament today, Mr. Speaker. Where are these tactical units present in the House? They are tactical units of the security forces.
Honourable members,
where are they present in the House?
this Honourable House stands suspended until the order for the withdrawal of the Leader of the Opposition is complete. House stands suspended.